Junior and Sons. We fix your windscreen. We have a star crack, we have a long crack, a bullseye, chip, combination crack. All of these can be fixed right here. Why change and put on something that doesn't have the capacity to withstand the pressure and put on a bootleg? Fix what you have. Because that Junior and Sons bring all of the issues to naught.
Engraving, signs, banners, posters, billboards. We do it here. AC Repairs. Come and check us out. At Junior and Sons, one place you get everything done. Looking forward to seeing you.
हम रहमत पाएंगे रोजा रखने की ताकत दे हिम्मत हमको या अल्लाह सजदे में हम अपने सर को झुकाएंगे.
These nice products I spoke with proper things. Peppies, you get it best and least. Oh no, bless up.
Okay. Pack up these things. Yo, y'all put these things in the car.
Loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do-da-do-da-do. I love you and you and you and you and you. I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you. I love Peppies.
Mother Kalimata astrologer in Guyana. Pandith Shiva. Know your past, present, future. Relationship problems. Love spells. Health problems. Financial problems. Business problems. Court case. Marriage problems. Family problems. Sexual problems. Good luck. Domestic problems. Promotion. Remove evil spirits. Remove black magic. He will give permanent supreme power protections for your all problems. Meet him once and get permanent solutions for your all problems. Located in Brickdam, Georgetown. Call or WhatsApp for more information, +59 261200036. All religions are welcome. All matters private and confidential. Mother Kalimata Astrology.
Looking for quality furniture at great prices? Check J&J Classic Furniture Store, located at 301 LBI Railway Embankment, East Coast, Demerara. Call 220-6783 or 628-9016. In stock chair sets, wardrobes, chest of drawers, suites, dining sets, TV stands, china cabinets, vanities, and beds. It's J&J Classic Furniture Store. Call 220-6783 or 628-9016.
Yeah, blasted disgusting children. Get inside.
So what about the children in the yard?
Not me. I ain't getting involved. I don't want my name called into the story.
You rather know those children get abused before you do something to stop it or prevent
that. Is not my concern. I just feel like my see nothing, hear nothing. I am not getting involved.
Bring the Child Care and Protection Hotline. Them people know how to deal with it. You don't have to give them your name.
Call the Child Care and Protection Agency hotline on 227-0979. Children need adults to protect them. Don't let them down.
World-famous Indian astrologer and spiritual healer in Guyana, Master Vishnu. Master Vishnu is a specialist in bringing back loved ones and ex-lovers, an expert in removing black magic, negative energy, and evil spirits. Are you facing problems that go beyond your comprehension? Is there anything that is convenient for progressive life? You may have visited many astrologers, but you didn't get your problem solved. Visit once. Master Vishnu will business problem, love problem, relationship problem, depression, black magic, marriage problem, education problem, court case, childbirth, witchcraft, negative energy, juju and voodoo, family issues, health problems, and more. Through one-on-one consultation, Master Vishnu will solve any kind of problem in within days, 100% guarantee. Master Vishnu also offers lifetime protection at all times. Book an appointment at +592 632 9
Sponsored by courts, bringing value home. United States sanctions Mohammeds and PS May Toussaint Thomas. PS allegedly accepted bribe money, while the Mohammeds allegedly evaded millions in taxes. May Toussaint Thomas sent on admin leave with immediate effect following US sanctions. Government seems comfortable with stalemate. McDonald says the union will not be bullied. And independent assessment of for gas to shore project completed. Project moving forward, says VP Jaglio. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Tuesday, June 11 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. We begin your broadcast with news that broke Tuesday morning. The United States has dropped the hammer on Guyanese billionaires Azruddin and Nazar Mohammed and People's Progressive Party Civic Permanent Secretary May Toussaint, who the United States has listed as corrupt. More details in this report. Businessman Nazar Mohammed, his son Azruddin Mohammed, their company Mohammed's Enterprise on Lombard Street, and the Labour Ministry's Permanent Secretary and the PPP Central Committee member May Toussaint Thomas have all been sanctioned by the United States Department Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control. The announcement was made on Tuesday morning. In the statement seen by Nightly News, the U.S. Treasury Department said the Mohammeds and Thomas have been sanctioned for their roles in public corruption in Guyana. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, Brian Nelson, said, quote, "Today's action underscores our commitment to holding accountable those who seek to exploit Guyana's underdeveloped gold sector for personal gain. The Treasury, in close coordination with our partners in U.S. law enforcement, will continue to take action to safeguard the U.S. financial system from abuse by corrupt actors." Unquote. According to the United States Department Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, two other entities owned by the Mohammeds, Hadi's World and Team Mohammed's Racing Team, have also been sanctioned for being owned or controlled by Mohammed's Enterprise and Azruddin Mohammed. The U.S. accused Azruddin and Mohammed's Enterprise of allegedly evading Guyana's tax on gold exports and that he defrauded the Guyanese government of tax revenues by under-declaring their gold exports to Guyanese authorities. Between 2019 and 2023, Mohammed's Enterprise allegedly omitted more than 10,000 kilograms of gold from import and export declaration and avoided paying more than 50 million in duty taxes to the government of Guyana. Mohammed's Enterprise has allegedly bribed customs officials to falsify import and export documents, as well as to facilitate illicit gold shipments. Mohammed's Enterprise had allegedly paid bribes to Guyanese government officials to ensure the undisrupted flow of inbound and outbound personnel that move currency and other items on behalf of Azruddin and Mohammed's Enterprise. It was Vice President Jaglio who told a news conference that the government of Guyana will only act if the United States engages the government. He was responding to questions after a Reuters report that had warned oil giant ExxonMobil about doing business with the Mohammeds.
Government of Guyana will act on this matter when the U.S. engages it officially, if it engages the government of Guyana.
As a result of the move by the U.S. Treasury Department, all property and interests in property belonging to the Mohammeds and Thomas that are in the United States or in the possession or control of U.S. persons are blocked and must be reported to the Treasury Department. U.S. persons and companies are also prohibited from doing any transaction with the Mohammeds or their companies and May Thomas. For May Thomas, the Treasury Department said she used her office to ensure favorable treatment in criminal or civil matters that would otherwise suggest the involvement of the Mohammeds in illegal criminal activity in return for cash and gifts. May has also been allegedly involved in bribery schemes with the Mohammed's family and their business enterprises. May Thomas, who was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs in April 2023, was stopped and grilled by U.S. authorities after arriving on a flight while on her way to China. Her United States visa was later revoked. She was then placed into handcuffs and her mobile phone seized by U.S. authorities. Her boss then, Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben, was questioned by reporters weeks later in relation to Thomas. This was his response.
We will get a statement from her, and then we will engage with the authorities as to the happenstance.
Given what has transpired, do you intend to retain her?
This has nothing to do with the question of retaining her. There's no question about that.
So she will remain as PS?
There is no question about that. I'm surprised that question would be raised.
Did you know that she was leaving though for
Of course, I gave permission.
According to the U.S. government, Thomas allegedly misused her position to influence the award of official contract bids and the approval processes for weapons permits and passports on behalf of the Mohammed's family. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Meanwhile, in reacting to the news from the United States of America, the government of Guyana says it takes very seriously the claims contained in the press release and will continue to engage relevant United States entities on these matters. In the meantime, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Labor, May Toussaint Thomas, has been sent on leave with immediate effect. The government of Guyana says it will continue to work with the United States government on all matters of mutual interest, including the respect for the rule of law and order. Leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, has secured the highest number of nominations following the People's National Congress Reforms nominations. The story from Dacia Richards.
With members of the People's National Congress Reform vying for the top positions in the party, which include its leader, vice chairman, treasurer, and secretary, over 200 groups submitted nominations, and current leader of the PNCR, Aubrey Norton, has secured the highest number of votes equivalent to 80% of nominations. According to the administrator of the Congress Committee, Sherwin Benjamin, other party members nominated were Amanza Walton Desir, Roysdale Ford, Walter Lawrence, Gary Bess, Kyle Greenidge, and Simona Brooms.
In respect of the nominations for leader, of the 218 groups that we field nominations from, 177 groups nominated the incumbent leader, Mr. Aubrey Compton Norton. 9 groups nominated Mr. Amanza Walton Desir. 20 groups nominated Mr. Roysdale Ford. 1 group nominated Ms. Walter Lawrence. 2 groups nominated Mr. Gary Bess. 4 groups nominated Mr. Kyle Barrington Greenidge. And 2 groups nominated Ms. Simona Brooms.
For the party's chair, Sherwin Holder received 173 nominations.
For the incumbent chairman, he has 173 nominations. Ms. Walton Desir has 7. Mr. Roysdale Ford, 9. Ms. Walter Ann Lawrence, 20. Mr. Sharma Solomon, 2. Mr. Christopher Jones, 3. And Ms. Simona Brooms, 1.
The 22nd Biennial Delegates Congress will be held in June 2024 for 3 days from February the 28th to Sunday the 30th, under a theme to demonstrate their commitment to implement a people-centered strategy. For HGP Nightly News, I am Dacia Richards.
Thank you, Dacia. You need to know now that as the stalemate between the government and the Guyana Teachers Union prolongs, the union believes that the government wants teachers to return to the classrooms empty-handed, something that will not happen, according to the union's General Secretary. Here's more. It is the view of General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta MacDonald, that the Ministry of Education and by extension the People's Progressive Party civic government is comfortable with the stalemate between the union and the Education Ministry. Ms. MacDonald was speaking with reporters outside the Ministry of Labour on Monday at the conclusion of a meeting with the Ministries of Labour and Education, which resulted in a stalemate.
We have offered several options, and all of those options were rejected by the Ministry of Education, which is saying to us that the Ministry of Education and the government
they are quite comfortable with this state of affairs. We have talked around several issues that we have actually agreed on. But the sticking point of it is the teachers returning to schools. Returning to schools with empty hands, let me say that.
MacDonald reiterated that it was the Guyana Teachers Union who reached out to the Ministry of Education for the resumption of talks, given that the ministry had enough time to consider their options.
It was enough time from the last time we left, which was May 20th, to now that the ministry would have reconsidered their position. We came with a lot of hopes this morning, but like everything else, our balloons went down because the government is saying, through the Ministry of Education, they're not prepared to budge.
The Guyana Teachers Union, in putting forward a proposal for the resumption of classes, called for a 20% interim pay increase, but the Ministry of Education said the union's demand amounted to duress. For the GTU's General Secretary, teachers will not return to the classrooms empty-handed.
And we're saying for us to return to the tables now with calling the strike off, there must be something substantial being given to our teachers, and that's where they stand off.
In reaffirming the GTU's position that it is prepared to amend its multi-year proposal from 2019 to 2023 to 2022 to 2025, MacDonald assured that the union will not be bullied by the government.
And so the government here is again attempting to bully its way through this process. And so all they're looking for is a 2024 and onwards. Their position is, unless we return to schools, they're not willing to talk.
As the nationwide teachers' strike continues, there has been no indication when talks between the government and the Guyana Teachers Union will resume. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. The President of the International Court of Justice on June 11 met with agents from Guyana and Venezuela to discuss the arbitral award of 1899. The story from Tiana Cole.
On June 11, Judge Nawaf Salam, President of the International Court of Justice, ICJ, convened a meeting with the agents of Guyana and Venezuela regarding the arbitral award of October 3, 1899, Guyana versus Venezuela. According to a statement issued by the Attorney General, the purpose of the meeting was to discuss the subsequent procedures in the case pursuant to Article 31 of the Rules of the Court and to determine whether a second round of written pleading was necessary following Venezuela's submissions of its counter memorial on April 8, 2024, and, if deemed necessary, to establish the timelines required for the preparation of these pleas. The statement added that both sides agreed that a second round of written pleadings was necessary. Guyana proposed a period of 6 months from the date of Venezuela's counter memorial submission, implying a deadline of October 8, 2024, for its reply. However, was open to extending this to late October, subject to the court's diary. Venezuela, however, requested a 12-month period from Guyana's October reply to adequately prepare its rejoinder, citing the complexity of the case, despite the ICJ procedural rules, which generally favor shorter time limits. Guyana noted that Venezuela's request for a 12-month period was excessive, given that the case has been pending for 6 years and that the subsequent pleadings are not intended to recite facts and legal issues already raised. The court will now issue an order setting appropriate timelines for both parties to submit their respective second round of pleadings, taking into account the representative representations made. Guyana's delegation was led by Attorney at Law and Non-Law Carl Greenidge, agent for Guyana at the ICJ, Philippe Sands, legal counsel, Pierre Dejean, legal counsel, and Lloyd Gunraj, charged the affairs of the Embassy of Guyana to the Kingdom of Belgium. In April 2023, the ICJ rejected a preliminary objection by Venezuela to Guyana's application before it to uphold the validity of the 1899 arbitral award, settling the boundaries between the two countries. In March 2018, Guyana filed its application with the ICJ to confirm the validity and binding effect in the arbitral award. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Dolman Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Attention homeowners and contractors. When it's time to add the finishing touches, tiles must be on your list. And there's only one place to get the best quality and the widest range with modern designs. Gaffurs is the #1 supplier of tiles in Guyana. We've got floor and wall tiles, ceramic and porcelain tiles, stone slate, terrazzo stone, mosaic tiles, and all the accessories including tile trim, spacers, sealers, cleaners, and polishers. Also the important thin set and grout. At Gaffurs, the options are endless, but we make it easy for you with the experts in our tile department. They are to assist you in making the right choice. Get the right tiles at the right price from Gaffurs Macdo Mega Complex or the outlets of Perican, Means, Land of Canaan, Bedford Wacting, Rose Hall, Kanji, and Diamond. Gaffurs for all your tiling solutions.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Another developing story. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton has rubbished claims made by Guyana's Vice President that the People's National Congress reform is unfit to rule Guyana due to internal misunderstandings. Norton, however, made it clear that the PNCR is the party of choice over a dictatorial People's Progressive Party civic. Daisy Richards reports.
Leader of the opposition Aubrey Norton on Monday called out Vice President Barjagio after he commented that the People's National Congress reform is unfit to govern Guyana due to issues within the party. The leader highlighted that the People's Progressive Party civic is a dictatorship, and because the Vice President is not confronted about it, it will cause more harm than good.
And we know internal ramblings in the PPP because it's a dictatorship. It's an authoritarian regime. So Barajagdeo makes the wrong assumption. He assumes that people not challenging him or saying anything means that all is well in the PPP. But the truth of the matter is most revolutions that occur within occur when people are silent and then it is unexpected.
Norton added that his party, a Partnership for National Unity APNU, is democratic and social media has made it seem different. He added that the party has been consistent in its policies, and as such they have outlined a plan which includes transcending race.
Our policies since I'm leader have been consistent. Our organizational work have been consistent. We have outlined a plan, and that is what is needed to govern this country.
Norton added,
there was democracy in the PPP. Irfan would have been president? No, he would not have, because there were people in the PPP who were more popular.
Norton alluded that in the APNU, persons are allowed to contest and share their views and opinions. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
As government seeks over $600 million in loans from the Exim Bank in order to fast-track the Wales Gas to Energy project, Vice President Barajagdeo revealed that an independent environment assessment of the project is finally completed. The story from Antonio Day.
The last report I got from Ashni saying they've been dealing with this from our embassy there is that it's being prepared at the technical level. They came, they did the environmental assessment on their own. So that was a good thing.
That was Vice President Dr. Barry Jagdeo updating the press on the gas ashore energy project last Thursday. He claimed that despite attempts by several local government organizations who are working in collusion with foreign organizations to block the project is forging ahead smoothly.
So there was an independent assessment of the entire project, including the environmental issues. And so I think as soon as that report is ready, then it will go to the board. I don't know exactly when, but I believe we maybe a month or two.
The Vice President revealed that currently the project is being paid for with the state's resources. He assured that the project, which is geared to deliver 300 megawatts of power, will not be derailed due to any loans being secured. As many are dubious as to the viability of this project as it is for Guyana, Jagdeo affirmed that the government has a contingency plan in place.
And we have a number of alternatives too that I explained this in the past, that we're not a party or a government that don't have contingencies. So this project will be built. The gas to energy project will be completed.
Meanwhile, petroleum engineer Dr. Vincent Adams at a recent oil spill forum noted that any project executed by ExxonMobil should be done within the safe parameters of engineering.
Everything has to be within those engineering parameters. When these things are engineered, they're designed to be safe. As long as you follow the right protocol, as long as it's competently designed, they're designed to be safe.
Many critics have raised concerns over the project's location, as residents could be negatively impacted in the event of a pipeline explosion or any form of radioactivity. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
It was revealed during the recent Public Accounts Committee sitting that the Ministry of Health has $15.1 million outstanding for undelivered goods from international suppliers, prompting calls for an amendment to the Procurement Act. Carice Gonzalez will tell you more.
The recent Public Accounts Committee PAC meeting on Monday scrutinized the Ministry of Health's operation from 2018 to present, highlighting several issues regarding payment and delivery of goods to the Ministry of Health's Material Management Unit, MMU, which is a central drugs bond. A significant concern raised in the 2019 report involved a $46 million check drawn in 2018, but only paid to the supplier in August 2020. Initially, the Auditor General's office reported that there was no documentation to support the receipt of goods, suggesting potential discrepancies or delays in the delivery process. However, the necessary documentation was eventually submitted according to the Act.
Yes, we did receive the document. We have the document.
However, when questioned about the funds owed to the Ministry of Health for undelivered goods, Permanent Secretary Malcolm Watkins emphasized that a significant amount is yet to be recovered.
The balance is $15 million right now, $15.1 million.
P.S. Watkins further noted that despite the challenges in recovering these funds, efforts are being made to do so. To address the issues with payment and delivery of goods, Watkins informed the PAC that significant steps are being taken to improve the management of the unit and the procurement process.
That I've established aggressive turnaround times. For example, when a product is delivered to the warehouse management, MMU, they're required to give us a source receipt note within 24 hours, maximum 48 hours, so that we manage the dates for the bank guarantees and so forth. So we do have some staff assigned that is dedicated to reconciliation after the contract is signed. But as I mentioned before, this CSC, the supply chain system in Guyana, the health system is very complex, and the skills pool in the country is very limited.
However, Member of Parliament Ganesh Maipal pointed out that the requirement for international suppliers to receive full payment for goods upfront conflicts with Guyana's Procurement Act, which stipulates that payments should be made upon delivery. He suggested that the Act should be amended to accommodate these types of transactions.
Because there's the absence in the legislation you're facilitating. Why not put it in the legislation and act within the law?
Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
Thank you, Carice. There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Number 1 world famous astrologer and psychic, Astro Pandit Ishwar. Astrology prediction is God's gift, passed down from generation to generation. He is specialized in the removal of black magic, negative energy, bad luck, voodoo, evil spirits, your worries, and here, special guidance for broken relationships, husband and wife disputes. Expert in bringing back loved ones,
business problems, sexual problems, children's problems, family problems, health problems, domestic problems, and many more. 100% warranted result. All matters private and confidential. Call or WhatsApp now for book on appointment. And all religions are welcome.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch. So tasty. What a catch. With a caramel center. What a catch. And so much chocolate. Ooh, yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. With so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel. Ooh, yeah. What a catch. Oh, what a catch. You know we love you. What a catch. Oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. What a catch.
Watching the HGP Nightly News, welcome back. Vice President Jack Dew is irked at the fact that ExxonMobil is trying to take credit for a substantial investment by attributing it to the tax revenues incurred by the government through the oil and gas sector. The story from Antonio Day.
Vice President Jack Dew, during last Thursday's press briefing at the office of the President, remarked that while it is permissible for the company to defend its purpose of investment here, there are other areas of public interest which should have been highlighted. This follows Exxon's release of the 2023 annual report.
But what I've seen here is that somehow Exxon wants to speak about the revenue. Now, we already agreed that because of a poor PSA, a flawed PSA signed in 2016 by Truckman, that we're getting less than a fair deal. And we have admitted this, we have a long time back.
Jack Dew said that the People's Progressive Party civic government has since ensured that the new production sharing agreement, which is known as the PSA, includes a 10% royalty, up from 2% paid by Exxon, and reducing cost recovery, share for producers, as well as a new corporate tax. The Vice President went on to highlight several flaws in the report published by the oil conglomerate.
What Exxon should focus on is how much money they're making. That's what they should tell the reporters, not how much taxes we're collecting. That this tax take is lower than what we should be getting. And this is not really taxes, because none of this comes from taxes except the 2% the royalty.
Jagdeo explained that in actuality the company pays zero tax, as this is just profit sharing, which the government agreed to, and if the 2016 PAC was better, profit shares would have been higher. The Vice President told the press that he's irked at some contents in ExxonMobil's annual report for 2023.
It irks me as the same way that they did these billboards, that they look like they're financing all of our activities in this country. I pointed out that in this year's budget, our non-oil revenue is much more than oil revenue in financing the budget.
According to the Vice President, it is over $400 billion of non-oil revenue that goes towards the financing of the budget, while $300 billion comes from the oil and gas sector. Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat, continues to emphasize the critical role of innovation and creativity in supporting small island developing states, adapting to climate change and transitioning to renewable energy. Caris Gonzalez has more.
Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat, during the just concluded Blue Series talk organized by the United Nations ahead of the June 2025 UN Oceans Conference, emphasized the need for innovation and creativity in addressing climate change and transitioning to renewable energy. He pointed out the challenge of financing renewable energy projects in small island development states, SIDS, while stressing the importance of sustainable solutions for such projects.
You get financing for the project, and if the project lifespan is 3 years or 4 years, that's fine. But after 3 or 4 years, how do we maintain that? How do we continue what was already started? And that is also another challenge faced by small island developing states.
He emphasized that many small islands are unable to earn money from carbon credits, especially green credits, and it is important that the Blue Series talk create a plan to enhance SIDS.
It is so important that this discussion this afternoon is being held, and that we prepare so that, as was hinted or mentioned, that we put ourselves in a position that an action plan can be crafted.
Minister Vikram further suggested that SIDS explore earning blue, green, and biodiversity credits, which offer financial rewards for practices that combat climate change and protect the environment. Blue credits target the health of oceans and coast, while green credits focus on managing land sustainability, and a biodiversity credit aims to safeguard Earth's diverse life forms. Through the Forest Partnership with Norway, the country has earned close to $1 billion under its Low Carbon Development Strategy 2030. Moreover, Guyana's efforts to combat deforestation from 2016 to 2020 were recognized with 33.47 million forest carbon credits. This recognition led to significant deal with Hess, committing to buying these high-quality red carbon credits for at least US $750 million from 2022 to 2032.
We are saying that the small island developing states must take this kind of initiative. Bahamas, I know, is taking a similar kind of initiative with their marine states. And it is also important other small islands, especially those in the Pacific.
I am Caris Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
While Minister of Governance Gail Teixeira announced Cabinet's decision to update racial terminology used by the Guyana Police Force and the health sector, Attorney-at-Law Nigel Hughes calls for laws to be enacted to prevent derogatory actions against racial groups. The story from Caris Gonzalez.
There's a movement, and the movement has started, and Brother Nigel was used as the man to the front in this case to say, see this word Negro, you hide in there for a long time, but no more.
That was former Minister Simona Brooms During the International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly, Guyana's recent public meeting themed Banish the N-word, there can only be no respect without self-respect. Meanwhile, attorney-at-law Naja Hughes emphasized that while there was a change in terminology, the incident required a swift and responsible response from the government, especially Attorney General Anil Nandlal. Hughes pointed directly to Kadaki Amsterdam's arrest and failure of the Commissioner of Police to acknowledge that the force used the term Negro despite its offensiveness.
Understand what he was saying to you as the Attorney General. That you should have kept your mouth shut. Don't worry with this jump up lawyer, and that this term must continue. Because he didn't get up and say, Mr. President, issue that cabinet note that they issue.
In underscoring the necessity for legal actions against derogatory to any racial group, Hughes emphasized that other countries facing major racial challenges have enacted laws to prevent derogatory actions against racial groups. He suggested that mere cabinet notes are insufficient in this case.
We don't want a cabinet note. A cabinet note does not have the force of law.
Meanwhile, Chairperson for Epology, Vincent Alexander, reiterated the importance of fostering respect and inclusivity.
And when we talk about institutions, we're talking about changes in organizations, how they exist, what they do, and how they do it, and changes in practices.
Acknowledging the offensiveness of terms like Negro and East Indian, the Cabinet in June 6, 2024, decided to replace these terms with more respectful descriptors, such as Guyanese of African descent, Guyanese of Indian descent, Guyanese Amerindian, Guyanese of mixed ancestry, Guyanese of Portuguese descent, and Guyanese of Chinese descent. Relevant entities have been instructed to implement this decision and update their operational manuals and rules accordingly. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Carice. Stay with us. Your regional news is up next.
To tell you about my mom and how I lost her, it was a very hard reality for me.
I met Crystal through a friend who asked me to speak to her. The first time I saw her, my spirit just took a liking to her. I see Crystal as my daughter. I haven't given birth to Crystal, but I feel as if I do.
I felt alone. I got the support I needed from her.
I understand that Crystal was a lesbian. I choose to accept and embrace and love everybody. I'm a Christian and I believe we're all God's children. God loves everyone. There's a time we all get educated enough to know that, you know what? Everybody's just the same human.
She never questioned it. She just supported me right through it.
So I see her as a young woman full of potential. Crystal and every gay and lesbian person should be treated with respect in Guyana.
Guyana. August 1st, 2024, all roads lead to the National Park as the African Cultural and Development Association, ACTA, hosts its 31st annual Emancipation Festival, Guyana's biggest cultural festival. Come celebrate our collective African heritage with African food, dance, fashion, history, storytelling, sports, and much more. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Come let's celebrate our resilient African essence. Harambe, we all hold together.
Step right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGP TV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Dive deep into the pulsating core of our spirited nation as we unravel the captivating stories embedded in our arts, music, sports, and beyond. A journey to nurture your soul and celebrate our rich heritage. Join us on HGP TV, where Inside Culture brings you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana, airing Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. and rebroadcasting on Sundays.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. Trinidad and Tobago has been warned about the possibility of flooding due to heavy showers today, as the Trinidad and Tobago Met Office has predicted inclement weather possibly until Friday. According to the Met Office, there has been a disturbance to the intertropical convergence zone with the passage of a tropical storm until Friday. There may be varying levels of disturbance to the weather. It also urged citizens to watch for heavy rains and flash flooding today and be warned that it is going to be a wet week ahead. There is also a 40 to 60% chance of isolated heavy showers or thunderstorms. Yesterday's rainy weather caused minor flooding in areas of Central, such as Coroni, Montrose, Jays Village, and Chaguanas, which caused a backup of motor vehicular traffic during peak hours. There was also a traffic buildup due to street flooding on the Diego Martin Main Road, while reports of strong wind accompanying heavy showers were also reported in southern areas of the country, such as Pinal. Transport Minister Darrell Fass announced that normalcy seems to have returned to the transport sector following Monday's all-island strike, which saw some public passengers operators withdrawing their services. The minister reported that he received updates from Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP Gary McKenzie, head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, and the Transport Authority, indicating that buses and taxis on various routes across the island have resumed operations and roadblocks have been cleared. On Monday, members of the transport sector withdrew their services, leaving commuters, including school children, stranded at bus stops. They were protesting the potential reinstatement of driver's license suspensions due to the accumulated demerit points, a decision stemming from a June 5 meeting involving stakeholders and the Island Traffic Authority. Minister Vass apologized for the disruption commuters faced on Monday, with many turning to private taxis and experiencing inflated fares to reach their destinations. Former Premier of the British Virgin Islands, Andrew Fahey, has once again requested a delay in his sentencing, currently scheduled for June 25th. Early this week, his attorney filed a motion citing a rescheduling conflict as the reason for the postponement, proposing a new date of August 5. Fahey was arrested in April 2022 and found guilty in February 2024 on multiple charges, including conspiracy to import cocaine and money laundering. This is not the first time Fahey's sentencing has been deferred. Originally set for April 2024, the date was pushed to June and now potentially further into the summer, drawing even more public and media scrutiny. In 2022, Fahey was held with Orlean Vine Maynard, the former managing director of the BVI Ports Authority in Miami, after the two conspired with Maynard's son, Kadeem Maynard. The trio agreed to allow large amounts of cocaine to pass through the BVI's port as part of a multi-million-dollar deal the trio made with an informant of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, who was posing as a drug trafficker at the time. Maynard admitted guilt over a role in the plot and agreed to testify against Fahey in exchange for a lighter punishment. Maynard's son Kadeem was sentenced on November 20, 2023 to serve 57 months in prison after he pleaded guilty last year to a single count of conspiracy to import cocaine. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
U.S. sanctions Mohammed's and PS May Toussaint Thomas. PS allegedly accepted bribes. Mohammed allegedly evaded taxes. May Toussaint Thomas sent on admin leave with immediate effect following U.S. sanctions. Government seems comfortable with stalemate, says McDonnell. Says the union will not be bullied. And independent assessment for gas to show project completed. Project moving ahead, says VP Jagdeo. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.